First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is Crystal Edge Technology Screens. I had to go in and get my charger for my phone. And the reason why we're doing this demonstration is because, like I said, you got a lot of people that are buying projection screens for the first time. I feel sorry for these individuals who fall into these traps. They fall into these traps of these fake projectors claiming to be something that they're not. And one of the problems we have here at the end of the day is these fake websites that claim things that they can't back up at the end of the day. And a lot of them have really bad information. They have very light information, no information whatsoever on their products. It's just very, very little information at all. And you got to be careful because this is stuff that, like I said, these products at the end of the day, like I said, a lot of them are 9 years back. They're very old products. But not only that, the websites speak for themselves. Let me go grab a charger real quick. Good gracious, man, I can't believe I'm reading this stuff at the end of the day. Come on. Sheer laziness, man. Just basically sheer laziness. So much freaking laziness, it's not even funny. And this is sad because, like I said, I have bumped into a few of his customers who have contacted me about the screen having a hard time picking up contrast levels and colors and all this stuff. And that's because he is using, again, I can't explain this enough, a high-end projector to make his screen look like something that it's not. That's why we gave him the 1-year challenge, to swap out his projector for 1 year to show his customers at the end of the day that he's not lying to them and that he can produce the same images that he gets from the P2 in his environment, that he's not solely constantly depending on that projector. So there's other things you have to watch out for too. We've had his screen paints down here. We were to match him to a video he deleted off his account showing him making a black and white product. He has yet to do that demonstration. Sherwin-Williams with the color strip of 235, network grade 773 and so forth, hasn't done those. But let's talk about the website here. The website is a nightmare, and I'll tell you why. This is where you have to be careful. Number one, he does not do any research. He just posts stuff on his site for the sake of posting stuff on there. We actually went in and bought a Frankenstein mix that was black. It said the black Frankenstein mix, and showing that the shopping cart was active because we were able to make a purchase and get our money back. Here on the website, just absolutely complete chaos and just craziness. Number one, not to consider the reason why there's lots of multiple misspellings and capitals in the middle of a sentence and runoff on sentences. But keep in mind, people make mistakes, as I said before, but this has been going on since last year. He has never come in and corrected anything, but just add more mumbo jumbo to the site. The return policy is an absolute insane. Basically, in the policy, he's stating that the product lands on your product, on your property, it is yours. That is it. But let's read through this craziness right here. And the craziness, if you look at it from the first beginning, it says that this is a 2-quart, right? 2 quarts. This is how this person does not know he's doing it. At the end of the day, he has it down as a gallon. Even went in to make sure, because I'm very thorough before we start throwing things here and there, that we got everything. We're doing everything by the book. I can see if I click on here, it comes up to a gallon. How in the world are you selling 2 quarts, but yet you have it listed as 1 gallon? Now, mind you, like I said, we can come back a week later, mistake will still be here. If he changes it, fantastic. If he doesn't, then it just shows. This has been here since last year. This has been here for quite some time. So in this one, as you can see, the spelling and all that is just absolute chaos. But even crazier than this, the information put in here is completely false. 2200 lumens. Haven't seen a lot of tests on that. Majority of the demonstrations he would do is the Ultra 4K laser projector, which is the P2. He would do a lot of demonstrations on that. Every demonstration that you're seeing in these pictures over top are demonstrations done with that exact projector. None of these are done on 2200 lumens. None of these are done in 720p. This is all done by an ultra short though laser projector. Again, we gave him a 1-year swap out to remove the projector, so that way he can show his customers that they're really getting the quality from the screen and not the projector. Outlandish accusations that just don't make any sense. 2 quarts of this mix will cover up to a 300-inch screen. We have been through this. I'm going downstairs. I've taken 2 quart 250. That's what we named the screen. 250 inches. Didn't even come close to covering it with 2 quarts. Virtually impossible. Virtually impossible. Definitely misleading information right there. Then he adds in, we call it the Wile E. Coyote math. You ever watch cartoon Wile E. Coyote? He does all these mathematical equations just to end up into disaster. He says that three quarts, an equivalent, a total of 3 100-inch screens, virtually impossible. There's no way in the world. If that was the case, you know how much money people would save? You buy 3 100-inch screens, you can make an actual physical 300-inch screen. Where is the height going to come from? Where is the length going to come from? Again, 262, which will be the length of your screen, by 147, which is the height of a 300-inch screen, where 300-inch screens are going to be 4 feet by 7 feet. And if you stack them on top of each other, you're missing the length. You have the 12 feet, but you're still missing the length. You stack them along in the longest way, you have 3 times 7, 21, but you're still missing the height. Extra paint is missing somewhere. So no, that's not going to work. That's freaking coyote math right there. Oh man, the stuff he has in here. This is my favorite, Capital, right in the middle. This has been there for the longest time. One of my mixes. It will give you well-balanced picture from your ultra short throw. What about long throws? What about mid throws? What about venue projectors? You're just talking about ultra short throws. Why? Only thing he's ever tested on was ultra short throw. Nothing really. It will give you well balanced. What do you mean by well balanced? What is well balanced? Well balanced can mean a number of things. Well balanced with light, well balanced with contrast, well balanced with color. What do you mean? Do you have those tests to back that up? Do you have color pattern? None of those were ever done at all, period. Trust me. Let me see. Best works. It works best with 2200 lumens and up. How many demonstrations have you done on a 2200 lumen projector? Not much. Most of the demonstrations are done on the P2 because that one gives off the best quality picture and he knows it. He'll do a few here and there, but nothing basically on any form of contrast or true colors or tests or none of that. That's not going to happen. Basically pretty colors, that's it. And up. Test it. Again, Capital. Test it with 1080p and 4K. I don't see a lot of 1080p demonstrations being done, to tell you the truth. Honestly, no. And 4K, yes, I see a lot of those demonstrations being done because that's what you pretty much grapple to because that is a crutch projector. Great with some light environments, not what I've seen so far. Turned out lights in the middle of a demonstration. Literally saw that, came in, switched off lights in the middle of a demonstration. That was a, let me see, it should have been a lights on demonstration. Here we go. You know how it works. I back everything up. There we go. So if it works right, works well with light, some lighting demonstrations, then you should have had the demonstration here with the lights on. There is no point in doing a demonstration if you're not going to use the lights in the environment. Why would they even be there to begin with at all? I think he was trying to mimic the demonstration we had with the 2 lights on each side, but we had lights on the entire time. We have to go back there. That website gets more and more chaotic every time we go in there. He's always putting new stuff in there, but he just puts crazy stuff in there and he doesn't explain why. Does good colors, bright images. Where can you explain these things at the end of the day? What is the distance doing on your product? What's the shelf life on your product? It's so much information. You don't even have anything for how to clean it up if it lands on your clothes. You have nothing there for safe for children and pets, nothing in there. Nothing else. What kind of surfaces can you paint on to at the end of the day if you're using a paint sprayer? You know, you're going to tell people about well-ventilated areas, wearing masks and safety glasses, and none of that stuff at all, period. You just have paint sprayer. Use with paint sprayer. So no, it does not work well in all light environments because he had to come in and he had to turn the lights out in the demonstration because he knew if the lights came on, the screen would have had some issues and it would have washed out very badly. That would have became an issue for the screen. All demonstrations were done completely in the dark. Everything. And he matched the white screen at that, which makes it even worse. That's why I said be careful about deleting videos. Don't do that stuff at the end of the day. This is not good for you. Not good at all. But we're not going to go into the whole other thing. That's not necessary. We've already had that done. That's going to be posted to the site. We just sent it to the fellow for him to go uplink that information in ASP as fast as possible. Also to the demonstration with the black and white paint. It's going to be uplinked as ASP as soon as possible. Because it needs to get out. What you're doing at the end of the day is not being very honest. This is demonstrations we obtained of basically making a black and white product. Mind you, this is actually the demonstration from him. This is nothing we doctored. That's his house. And it shows him making a black and white product using house paint to make the product. Which you have to be careful about too. Also, too, it's very important that you ask him at the end of the day to do these test demonstrations against black and white paint. His video was done under 2 tablespoons of black paint, which is actually posted in the video. But you can see all this on the blacklist. We'll put that up there at the end of the day so you can see that for yourself. Let's go over to, let me go back here. Let's see. All right, so let's go through this right here. So right here we have, again, in the specification sheet is way too light. To give you an idea, for those of you that are buying screen paints for the first time, this is what a specification sheet is supposed to look like. Any specification sheet. Even at the end of the day, I had to give some little credit where credit is due, even though Partey stuff on this website is completely fake. And I said that before, unless you can back this up, what you're saying is completely fake, and it is what it is. But at least his website does have a ton of information on it. Well, even though most of it's not real, it's not correct. But at least it's a more professional site than what you're seeing here. Not these little bits of sentences that don't make any sense that are just pasted in there for no reason whatsoever. But your specification sheet is supposed to be able to match your product. So let's go over here. And you see this. This is the way you're supposed to see the product. And you're supposed to see the demonstrations that are attached to it. Everything's done in a fully lit environment, as it should be, because you're saying your product is ambient light rejection. His product is not ambient light rejection. This is the sheet. This is how big they're supposed to be. You see right here, my application, my paint on application info is even larger than his information sheet. And you're supposed to have a summary at the end. Specification sheet, displaying the color of the screen, paint, all that stuff, which he has gray right there to be fair. And that is not gunmetal. At the end of the day, that's actually gray, not gunmetal. Gunmetal screens are very, very dark screens. But getting back to this, 2 quarts of my mix will paint up to a 300 screen. That is completely false. That's fake. You can't do that. 100 total of, no, that's not going to work. 100 of 300 screens, no. If that's the case, I can say 250 inches are going to make a 300 screen. That is false. This crazy stuff, and please be aware to use a paint sprayer for this to work. So for it to work, you can only use a paint sprayer. Did he just say that? Do you know there's a video of Crow painting in the Cinemax with a paint roller? You know that, right? He just said, for this to work, he lies on top of his own lies. Unbelievable. Wait a minute. We're going to pull up one of your videos showing you painting the Cinemax in it with a roller. You said in your demonstration, you said can only be used with a paint sprayer. guess you're going to be pulling down this video next. So is this not you in your demonstration painting and rolling the Cinemax, which is exactly the same color? I told you about the color scheme that I took with Sherwin-Williams. Watch this. I should get this up properly. That's actually one of the Sherwin-Williams colors. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't he was using Sherwin-Williams. Sherwin-Williams Network Gray. If you look at the mixes here, or paints here, you will notice that somewhere in between, I would say the gray screen 771 would match your product. Any one of these would blend into the screen. I say from here, I would go from network gray to online to gray screen would match perfectly right here. So he said here, like I said, you have to worry about people. Not only that does it match, but I'm not sure right here, where he lies on his website. He said on his website right here, he said that, let's see, got to be careful about lying to people. You can't lie to people. Why would you add only a paint sprayer only? Why would you, to make your stuff sound different than a roll-on version? I guess that's what he's trying to do, trying to say that you can't use a roll-on version like Sherwin-Williams. My product only requires to be sprayed on. You can spray Sherwin-Williams at the end of the day. Any paint, you can stick to a paint sprayer and you can actually spray it on. So right here, you say that, let's see, 2 quarts pin up to a 300 screen. Please be aware to use a paint sprayer for this to work. So you're saying that you have to use a paint sprayer for this to work. In order for this product to work, as you're putting here, please be aware to use a paint sprayer for this to work. So the only way this screen paint will work is you have to have a paint sprayer. This is the Cinemax you have here, right? So you have this over here, but here in your demonstration, you are clearly painting a screen in with a roller, not a paint sprayer. So how is that possible? You just told on your website that the only way you can use a Cinemax is you have to basically spray that in only for it to work. But in your demonstration, you are basically using a paint roller. And a paintbrush. And your product right there matches one of the 235s on the Sherwin-Williams list. I wouldn't be surprised if that was Sherwin-Williams right there you're using. So how is that possible? You just said right there that your product can only be rolled in. Can only be sprayed in. Sorry about that. Right here, you said right here, misleading to your customers that you can only spray in. If that means the case, I mean, your customers will go out and spend, I don't know, if they're going to pay for Wagner 250 may get clogged. You don't want to use a Wagner 250, depends on how, you got to test it first if it's going to push you. A Wagner 250 is a stain sprayer. It's more for a more finer, refined formula. But if you're going to be using everyday paint, you're going to probably have to go with a more heavier paint sprayer. That's going to have to be to push out. So that means your customers reading this are going to go out and buy a paint sprayer. And if they go out and they buy a paint sprayer, what's going to happen is you have cost them more money because they could just easily roll the screen in. So you have cost them more money because you put down here in your description that for it to work, you have to please be aware to use a paint sprayer, for this to work. You have clearly told your customers that they are going to have to be able to use a paint sprayer in order for this to function. And we know that's not true. You can roll the screen in because there's a demonstration right here of you rolling the screen in. Let's see. I'm here to help you save hundreds and get the best quality from your projector. Yeah, it's kind of hard to do if you're doing the same projector over and over again. You're not changing up your projectors And that quality is not, again, coming from your screen, it's coming from your projector. Make sure to use a paint sprayer to get 3 100-inch screens. That makes no sense at all. Why would you need, you can use a roller and get 3 100-inch screens. That doesn't make any sense at all. So why would you have to use a paint sprayer to get 3 100-inch screens? That doesn't make any sense. But here you're saying 2 quarts. In your demonstration here, you're selling 2 quarts here, but when going over to select the paint, you shouldn't have to select, it should say 2 quarts from the door, you have a gallon. So which one is it? Is it a gallon or is it 2 quarts? You don't have that on there on the site. So that's very confusing to the customer. Tell them that they have to use a paint sprayer when you're showing videos, if you roll the screen in. That doesn't make any sense at all. And then tell them to use a paint sprayer to get 3 100-inch screens. You can get 3 100 screens by using an everyday roller. It doesn't make sense. You were able to paint in a 100-inch screen with no problem, so I don't see where that would be a problem. Right here, your return policy does look very, very scammy. And I'll tell you why. Returns and refunds, or returns and refund policy. You have here returns and refund policy once the product is delivered. Incorrect spelling of deliver. No returns or refunds. So if the product lands on the property, if there's paint leaking from the paint, there are no returns and refunds. It is yours right from the door. Make sure to ask any questions before any purchases are done. All right, completely fake there. This right here, it's none of my business adding a surcharge. We don't add surcharges to our packages for our customers because we don't want them. They're already paying for our product, but that's his own business. That's none of mine at the end of the day. But no, the information that you have on your site is completely false. You cannot paint a 300-inch screen with 2 quarts. Sorry about that. That's not going to happen. And not only with the misspellings on the site, you have here that 2 quarts and equal right here. You clearly have it at 1 gallon. So I don't even know how that's even working. Sorry about that, people. So are you selling 1 gallon or are you selling 2 quarts? That's confusing. Telling your customers, well, balanced picture doesn't really explain anything. Telling your customers that works with sunlight environments. No, from what we've seen, majority of your demonstrations, if you look up here on your picture selection, your demonstrations, every last one of them are in a dark environment. Every single one is in a dark environment. If we're going to be showing off our screen, showing to be in a well-lit environment, we are going to show you a demonstration of a screen in a well-lit environment. You can't even see the environments here because the pictures are way too close. This right here, yeah, this is all being done by a ultra short though laser projector that has a 2:1 contrast, and this is why we consider this to be misleading, because the customer needs to see this on an everyday regular projector of 720p 600 by 800 SVGA to see if he's going to pick up the same contrast there instead of the same contrast there that he would be picking up on the P2. And if he can't do that demonstration, it just shows clearly he's using a high power projector in a dark environment to try to get these images. So that right there, he's going to have to be the backup. Everything else here is just crazy. All right, let's go over to, that's 2 quarts, right? That's 2 quarts of the Cinemax. Let's pop over to the 1 quart of Cinemax. Now this right here doesn't make any sense either. Here you have the same container here. So this container right here is saying 1 quart. And this one here is saying 2 quarts, and they have the both same containers. So that's confusing for the customers. You didn't even change out the pictures. Same pictures as this and this one. Oh, you should have changed out that altogether. Let's go Cinemax 1 quart. Let's see what you have in here for your instructions for your customers. Right here. Here he has stated that the 1 quart, which is, you got an I there. That should be an I at all, period. And you don't have any kind of selection. See, the problem I have here, your page is not in sync, which means it should be in sync. Everything should be matching. It should be uniformed. And you don't have that here. You have chaos on one end and something different. Listen, each one of these have something different. So this one, you don't have a selection for this one because I guess they are getting 1 quart at the end of the day, but still that doesn't make any sense how that's made up here. So you have here this mix, my favorite one. of all my mixes, it will give you well-balanced picture. Again, I don't know about well-balanced picture from your ultra short throw projector. From your ultra short throw projector. So if someone's coming in with a long throw or a short throw projector, what are they getting? It works best with 2200 lumens and up. Again, never tested. 1080p, never tested. Usually you should have 30 or 40 of those tests under your belt. 4K should be a space here. You got N4K all attached together into one sentence. Works with some light environments. You got 1 quart. You spell quart incorrect here. Covers up. You don't need to put a capital here. Ups to 100 to 135 inch screen. Have you physically painted in a 135 inch screen to prove that 1 quart is going to cover that? No, you have not done that yet. So yeah, you can't have that there unless you actually paint that in. This is one of my favorite mixes. It works with ultra short throw. Ultra short throw. What about other projectors besides ultra short throws? The customer's reading this, he's thinking only ultra short throw. If he doesn't have an ultra short throw, he's not going to feel that he's included with this. So this is not going to work. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you and save hundreds. Again, not saving hundreds if you're using that high-end projector at all, period. Policy, return policy, deliver is spelled completely incorrect again. Return and refund policy, same thing as before. If it lands on your property, it's yours. That's basically about it. That's for short, his policy right there. That's gone. This right here, this is none of my business. $70 surcharge, that's his own business at the end of the day. And still showing the same 1 quart container as the 2 quart container here, which doesn't make any sense why you have it that way. Let's go over to the hybrid mix. It has an outdated container because I know that's your old tin containers. We used to get those back in the day. Let's see what you have here. And here, quart is spelled incorrectly. Keep in mind, as I said before, this has been this way since last year. I can see if you had set the site up and these were all misspelling errors and whatever, but we can go back to an old video demonstration or previous demonstration, a little order back, and show you that we've been in here. He had plenty enough time to clean this up, but he just refuses to because some people just are a bit lazy at the end of the day and don't want to basically take the time in to do the job correctly. And this is where this is coming from. So we have quart incorrectly spelled here. And as for information, this is it. So you just had this projection screen is one of my lightest of the batch. It makes it idea. That doesn't even make any sense. Batch, it makes it idea for dark environments with lower lumen projectors for 1080p and 4K 3D. 1 quart covers up to 130. No, you can't put that in there until you physically paint in a 135 inch screen. That's very important that you physically do that because you don't want the customer to come up short. So that is incorrect. Any other information at the bottom? No information at the bottom. There's no return policy here. There's no nothing here at all. Just this. That is really, really not good. Here, this is not good at all. This is basically showing a dark environment again. So all the demonstrations you're seeing here are in dark environment because the screen is going to have some issues. Show the same environment as the other one, but no information. There's nothing here. There's no return policy here. There's no surcharge or shipping or tracking information. Just this, and that's all. And again, this is spelled incorrect. All right, let's go into the other area of the site. We just came from here to here. Let's go over here where we have the, let me see, personal mix 1 quart. We have this here. We have this here for testing. This is actually one of the ones that matched the Sherwin-Williams. In this one, all demonstrations are done in the dark. There's a customer demonstration here that is completely done in the dark. He muted the demonstration. Yeah, because the guy's not talking. This is my soundboard cut off. Let me check my soundboard to be sure. My soundboard was shut off on itself. It's not being used. I'm not seeing anything with the lights on. The first demonstration you did, you shouldn't do the demonstration in the dark. You should have did it with the lights on to begin with. That's what you should have did. Why would you do the dark demonstration? That's the easy one. You should always do the demonstration with lights on. Then you turn the lights off later on. Not necessary. So keep in mind, Sherman Williams Network Gray 773 will have the same reaction. It will do the same thing. So that's a customer's demonstration right there to show you the customer has to be in the dark when using the product. So it doesn't work with some light environments. And then the other demonstration he has here in his home, which is showing the exact same environment, still sitting in the dark. What do we have down here for the description of the product? The IV Mix right here. IV Mix is a great for movies, gaming. Is perfect for those light controlled environments. Light controlled environments. We don't use light controlled over here. The screen's on, it's on, lights are off. We don't do ambient light controlled environments over here. Not necessary. Ambient light controlled environments are used basically for, that's what his own product is saying at the end of the day, but he's claiming his product to be equal to ours. We don't use ambient light controlled environments. It's the environments. It will work with 2200 lumens and up, 1080p 4K tested. Here's a return policy, completely different from the rest of them. This one actually says a little bit more, but something at the bottom. Returns and refund policy. Once the product is delivered actually again is spelled incorrect. No returns or refunds. Please make sure to ask any questions. Not the same as the other one. So that one is actually incorrect. He has incorrect. Same mumbo jumbo he has here, and this one he has in the rest of them. So that's not good either, because like I said, if that product lands on your property, that is yours and yours at the end of the day. Right here, we have him under his own product here. Let's show this right, what he has in here for the Frankenstein mix. 1 quart. What he has in here, okay, people, this is one of my first mixes. Actually, definitely a complete lie. Crow's first mix was the screen paint we showed you of the black and white mix. That would be his first one, which would be this one right here. So like I said, when he first started out, he was actually giving away his product for free. This is where this video popped up. But then the problem was the product he was giving away for free actually started matching the products that he was actually selling. So there's the demonstration right there. And that's the video right there. So it's been out for quite some time. And this demonstration, this is basically showing him making a product out of a black and white mix. Now, like I said, when he first started off, his product was free, definitely free to his customers. They were free. Then he started selling the product as he went along. So the Frankenstein wouldn't be one of his first. If the Frankenstein was one of his first products, it would have been free, just like you're seeing right here. This is him actually making the product right here using black and white paint. Sorry about that. 2 tablespoons of black paint into white paint to make this product right here. So that's what he was making. Now, the reason why I do these demonstrations is he thinks there's hatred toward him. There's no hatred towards you. You are misleading people at the end of the day. False information, not doing proper testing, and people that are buying projection screens or projectors projection screens for the first time, so projectors will be victimized to fall into these particular traps that you set up due to the fact that you are hoping to get people that are not going to question your product at the end of the day. That is his product right there. We're testing it against his basic personal mix. So his personal mix was able to match the mixture that we made on his website. Not his website, but on his YouTube channel. That video no longer exists anymore because it was deleted from the account. But right here, it shows that this is how his product was made. So that's another thing too. You really need to clear up that your products are actually legit and not fake. Right here, we have... again, this, like I said, not one of your first mixes. Your first mixes were free. Let's see, mixes I ever created. It's not real. It's been used for businesses and churches. Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one alone. For churches and outside venues. It works best with high lumen projectors of 3,500 lumens. A 3,500 lumen projector is not a high lumen projector at all, period. A basic house projector would be 3500 lumens. The ViewSonic PX747 and the ViewSonic projector I had downstairs that's 600 by 800 by 720p SVGA is 3800 lumens. A high-end lumen projector would be 5000, 6000, 7000. Those would be venues, but this right here is not venue, nowhere near venue. That's not considered to be high lumens, so that is incorrect. And for best picture quality, I don't recommend for home use. I don't think we would have a problem with using that for home use whatsoever at all, period. I really don't. So it's one of the paints we need to get ordered in here. We need to see and test that on theory. He says can't be used for home use. It can be used for home use because you've had this paint in your house and used it for a demonstration. Where you mess up here is how can it not be used for home use if you have displayed it in your home under a demonstration? All right, then you're definitely off on that. 3500 lumens is not considered to be a high-end lumen. Not at all. Let's see, product info. This mix is recommended for venue, churches, businesses, or classrooms with high lumens. Again, capo here. And some other things for that. No return policy, same as the rest of them. No returns or refund policy once the product is delivered is spelled wrong again. Oh man, it's a mess in here. It's an absolute mess. Mind you, like I said, this has been this way since last year. That is not gunmetal. That is actually gray. Gunmetal screens are not gray. That's definitely gray. You're too light to be gunmetal. So that's definitely the false information there. Let's go over and pop over. We've been from here to here. Let's go pop over here. This is the UV mix over here. Let's see what we have here in the policy for the UV mix. We have, let's see, no information, no specification sheets, nothing whatsoever, just a fast summary. Crow's UV mix is awesome paint mix for awesome paint. Is one of awesome paint mix for inside or outside. Yeah, I haven't seen it. Where are you coming up by telling people that it's an outside screen paint? I haven't seen any really outside demonstrations. Do you have any demonstrations on screens over 120 inches displayed outside on the product? And I'm talking about recent demonstrations. We have constant demonstrations all the time. Every chance we get that we can get outside, we're displayed. I don't see that. And I don't see any pictures in here backing the product at all, showing it outside. Where are any of the demonstrations? Pictures are way too close to the screen. What is going on with this right here? Demonstration completely in the dark. If you're going to be saying that your product is used for outside, you need to have outside demonstrations of the product. For instance, here, if we're telling the customers that the screen works for inside and outside, we have to be the display on screens that are showing outside. So let me share right here. There we go. These are demonstrations of our screens being displayed outside, which I need to add the rest of them in there, but I want to update the new videos in here. Well, we do have newer videos in here. It's an 180-inch screen. Why didn't I put those in there? All right, we got to go in and change these. We got to put new videos in here. I got a 180 screen. I got a 150-inch screen. These need to be in here. I don't know why I don't have them in there. I probably did them recently. Forgot to do it. Let me see. I'll go into my editing and change that tonight. These are outside screens right here. If you're going to be telling people that you have screens that you're displaying outside, you need to show that your screens are outside. If I'm going to my marketplace and I'm telling people that our product is weatherproof and all that other good stuff, they need to see that on the product page of the items that we are displaying. So unless you show some real outside demonstrations, your product is basically not real. Showing the screen is weatherproof in a snowstorm. We have it over there. You have to be to show demonstrations like that. So no, that's fake. I'm sorry, buddy. Unless you show some real serious demonstrations. If you're going to be outside, especially if you call yourself being a business, at the end of the day, you should be displaying at 150 and up. You should be 150 and up. Easy. So you're not proving that at all, period. This is a video in the dark. This doesn't say anything about outside. You're talking about inside and outside. No. Quality, even with outdated projectors. You don't do any demonstrations with outdated projectors. Not a lot of them. This is why we suggest that if your product works with outdated projectors, you would have no problem with doing a swap out for 1 year. Now we're going to make it 2 years, a 2-year swap out. So for 2 years, can you remove your P2? And basically, mind you, all these pictures didn't come from a 720p outdated projector. They came from an up-to-date model projector that is 4K. That's where it came from. So if you're putting at the bottom where it gives quality even to outdated projectors, you need to swap your projector out and show that it does this, but you can't do that. Because then you wouldn't be getting the same picture quality from the P2, and because of that, you can't tell your customers that they're getting quality. The screen that they're seeing at your demonstrations are completely false. Okay, let's see what we got here for your return policy. Return policy, there are no reason why, I don't know why you have this in here. This has nothing to do with a return policy. What is this nightmare? Okay, refunds and returns and refund policy. There is none the reason why it's a paint coating. Best I could do is help to give you, good gracious, man. Best I could do to help is give 1/2 and your next buy if the mix did not do what it was meant to do. What in the world would that have to do with a return policy? That has nothing to do with a return policy at all. That shouldn't even be there. So where is the return policy? All right, we got shipping in the US. See, this is what I'm talking about. The 4 or 5 shopping carts we've been in, none of them say the same thing. They're all saying something different, something completely different. They're not in sync. Free shipping in the US, priority 2 to 3 with tracking. That's what you have there. But you don't have what's overseas. You don't have the overseas right here for $70 surcharge. This has nothing to do with shipping. I don't even know why you have that in there. Works great with projectors of 3,000 and up. Go check out my YouTube channel at Crow1176. Mixes, okay, UV mix. Oh, man, dude, this is a mess. This is an absolute mess. You claim about outside demonstrations. Just go to your home page and see what you have here. Now you're claiming that your screen paints up to 135-inch screen. You have no test on that whatsoever. This right here is what you get from the Wix page. So when the Wix gives you this first summary that comes out, he's changed every little thing in between. Because if you notice, it does not sound the same way as it says in his description. Somebody else definitely clearly did this, and this is Wix. This is what they give you when you get your page. This is one of the dummy pages they give you to go on and change it out. He clearly left the way it was because, again, he couldn't add anything else to it. All this comes from Wix. If you go and you type it up, you get my page, about my page, and all this will come up already pre-done. You don't have to do much. Most people just go and just add it up here and there. I erased all of my own stuff in. With years of exercise, something experience, Crow's Screen Paint Mixes is proud to be regarded as a manufacturing leader. Okay. Every decision is an inspiring by my main mission. He didn't write this. There's no way in the world. He has one in his description page, and he wrote this. This comes automatically with the page. I have Wix myself, so I know. Yeah. In the rapid change of the industry, realizing the importance of the continual update our approach to stay in relevance and the market and are committed to just that. No. You didn't write that. That came basically, you just added this in here. That's all you did. And you kept all that the same. That's lazy, man. That is super lazy. Super lazy. You type this in here. And there, problem we have here with your front page is to match your product description. And here you have 1 quart will paint up to 120-inch screen, but in your product description, you have up to 135. And you spelled quart incorrectly. See, people will see this. How in the world here up there, it sounds professional, but when it gets down here, it's total complete chaos. So quart spelled incorrectly. You said 120-inch screen. What's your aspect ratio at the end of the day? Or you just mentioned anything? You didn't mention anything about 235 at all, any 235.1s. So somebody's taking your screen paint, they're going to paint a 235.1. What would be the sizes of 235.1? They're not even in there because he doesn't know. You know why? He never had one. He has no experience in 235.1 setups because if someone says, okay, I need a size, small size, For 235.1, how big of a screen would you start off with? You don't know. That's why it's not in there. 235.1 have odd numbers. Their numbers are always odd, very odd numbers, like 158, 178. Their numbers are really weird, really odd. The screen is actually shorter and longer in length. But you wouldn't know that because you've never worked around that. Like you think a 3500 lumen projector is actually considered to be a high projector. New projectors don't come in 35s. They come in 4,000. The old ones come in 4,000, but the new ones come in 5, 6, 7, and so forth. Let me see. 2 quarts, paint up to 150-inch screen. That is a complete lie right there. 2 quarts, you're going to say paints up to 150-inch screen. You're going to have to paint that in order to do that. You can't just say that. 200 inches is not going to fit at all. No, it's not going to work. 2 quarts is not going to paint a 200-inch screen. You have it down here, covers up to 150 to 200 inches, but you have on the other page, it paints up to a 300-inch screen. So which one is it? And 2 quarts are not going to do 200 inches. That's never going to happen. You don't have enough paint for that. The hybrid mix, let me see. Mix 50 lumens and up. Have you done a demonstration at 50 lumens and up? How many feet have you done back at 50 lumens and up? How much light in the environment was 50 lumens and up? Again, you have to do that demonstration before you can say it. 50 lumens up for dedicated theater rooms. No gray screen paints and white screen paints don't work in dedicated theater rooms. We showed you with that one with Mr. Mannequin. They put too much white light over the environment. They don't do that. They can't capture light. They expand light. Let's see. The personal mix, 1500 lumens and up. How many demonstrations have you done on 1500 lumens and up? Not a lot. All your demonstrations, your pictures are being displayed on a 4K projector. So nope. Let's see. And up for light controlled environments. All right. Interesting question. How do you compare yourself to me? That's an expert in ambient light rejection technology, and I'm in a fully lit environment. None of my environments are ambient light controlled, but yet you use ambient light controlled environments. You have to have it printed during your site. You can't put what I have on my site because your screens don't activate what mine do. You can't be out. Oh, forget it. We already know the door behind that one. Now I'm going to explain that freaking stupidity nightmare you've gotten about ambient light controlled environments. You know how I feel about that crap. Let's see. Ultra short throw. Let's see, the UV mix. 2500 lumens and up. How many projectors have you done on 2500 lumens and up? I have not seen a lot of them. All your demonstrations are done mainly on the 4K projector, which means that is your crutch projector. And up for light, dark, BKL or black levels. For light, dark, what the freak do you mean by that? What the heck is this going on over here? What the heck is up 2500 lumens and up for light, dark, supposed to be black levels? Okay. Let's move on from there. That is the UV mix that you just, never mind, forget that. We're going to leave that one alone. That's nowhere near, that's not what you think it is. Mixes 2500 lumens and up, well-balanced picture quality for short throw to ultra short throw and laser projectors. Crow, that's a complete mistake right there. Network Gray 773. Their lighter mixes, even down to that one, basically pick up at 1000 lumens. They can pick up at ultra short throw. They can pick up at long throw. They can pick up at laser. They can pick up at 1080p. Even a white screen will do the exact same thing. The only difference is between the two screens, one will pick up a slightly higher contrast level, and white level is always going to be superior on the white screen, but they'll be able to maintain a fully lit environment. No. Pick up better contrast. No. You'll have to calibrate your projector. Yes, but no. What you put here, that basically that particular mix does that, and Network Gray could do the same thing with no problem. That's why we need you to do the test against Network Gray or any of the color schemes, so we can show people at the end of the day, or you can show people at the end of the day, your product doesn't match house paint, and house paint doesn't do the same thing that your product can do. What you described here is house paint. That's what you described. Let me see. Not AR technology. Well, that ain't anything special to understand. So bottom line is you pretty much destroyed your product with that alone. Most people are looking for ambient light rejection screens. Everything today is branded with ambient light rejection. I'm surprised if I'm gonna see a white screen with ambient light rejection, because that is the thing now. Ambient light rejection. It's like You know, you having an 8-track in your car to somebody having a CD player. I know I went back a little bit in time there. 8-track, even CDs go back in time because I don't think people use CD players anymore. I don't think they do anymore. I don't know. But anyway, so you're talking about 8-track player. And, you know, people buying a car, I don't care what it has in it. You know, the first thing they look at is the sound system that thing has in it. Of course, the engine will come first, but most people will say, is that an 8-track player? Why is there an 8-track player in this vehicle? How old is this thing? They want newer stuff in the car. So that's what everybody wants. The newest, the most latest technology, and ambient light rejection is where it's at. And if you don't have it, your stuff is old. You know what doesn't have ambient light rejection? Digital and crystal screen paint does not have ambient light rejection. You know what else doesn't have it? Bare silver screen doesn't have it with a couple of sheets of black paint into it, splint black paint. Also too, network gray. Any one of those do not have ambient light rejection technology embedded into them. The reason why you had to put that there because your product does not have that capability, but you try to display like it does. And while you try to display like it does, you have little things peppered out in your environment, in your videos. You're saying, well, ambient light controlled environments, some light environments, dark environments. Yeah, sure. All right. Yeah, you got a whole lot of misleading crap on your site. Let's go down here to the bottom. This is one of your demonstrations right here. See what we got going on with this. See if you have this in a fully lit environment.
All right, yeah.
All right, here, buddy, right here. I don't know if I'm hearing your voice. You are washed out like no other in this video demonstration, which I'm going to show you where you're washed out pretty bad. And your environment is way too dark. And I don't even know why your meter is sitting here. Shouldn't be here at all. Let me show you at the bottom. So right here, you can see his meter, and you're using a cell phone app. You're not supposed to use a cell phone app because cell phone apps and meter readings are incorrect. You need to have a certified meter like we use in ours. But let me show you where your video is going to be washing out quite a lot. Number one, environment's way too dark. Way too dark. You should have more light hitting this wall. So let's go over here to the first beginning where we show you the pudding display. See right here? All this is washed out completely. That's all washed out. It should not look this way at all, period. It should never look that way at all. This is supposed to be deep, rich chocolate. All this should be, well, you should be to see this. This is all washed out right there from the door. See how it picks up better on the brighter levels. Now when it comes to the brighter levels, he'll switch over to show you the light coming through. But when it comes on that level, starts to wash out, he'll keep the camera far away. And this is not making contact with your screen at all. If it was, your area would be much brighter. You are blocking way too much light. This is why I said when you do the demonstration with the 1-year challenge, this has got to go. This is blocking too much light. These curtains need to be pushed all the way up here and here and all this right there. You have a curtain here. Oh, why did you have this one open? This one's not open right here. I see one that's not open. Why is this one closed? Maybe because this one would make direct contact with your screen. Actually, you have a few over here that should be open, but this one is shut. Why is that one shut? See, that's what I'm talking about. Fake demonstrations. I hate these things at the end of the day. Your area is so dark in this corner, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. But this needs to be open. You have 1, 2, and this one's near the wall and the window here, but this one is completely shut. Why is that? There's no light coming up through here. Look how dark it is here. Look how dark it is here. You got a little bit of light passing through because that's whatever light that can pass through these statues and make contact with the door. But that's it. Here, this is all dark. You don't have the same amount of lighting hitting here that's over there. There's nothing no light hitting at all, period. Image black levels are washed out here and here. This is all washed out, completely washed out. It should be darker than that. You see that receiver right there? It should look the same color as that receiver. And you see right here, this is not supposed to be here. Any light, if it's being transferred over from the window, it's going to change the readings here. If the projector makes contact and there's a little bit of a splash over, which you're seeing right here. See this right here? This is the splash over from the projector. They all do it. It's a little splash over that gives over. It's in contact with your meter. This is why your meter has to be on the floor at all times. If you're going to do a demonstration, we do with meters, that meter needs to be right here on that floor. Nope, that's a complete fail. See it right there? See that little bit of light pushing right there? That's the splash off. All screens do it. They give a little bit of splash off of the screen. You're in direct contact with that right there. And I'm pretty sure your meters are not that high. Your readings are that high. Light colors, no big deal. Network rate 773 will do the same thing in a fully lit environment. So that's not showing anything at all. Where's the contrast at? Any gray screen's gonna pull a white level or bright levels. It's easy. Where's the hard stuff? Wash out. This is washed out. This is completely washed. This is supposed to be dark here, dark here, dark here, and dark there. The colors are so washed out. This is not even funny. It's really washed out. It's supposed to be much deeper than that. That's it. That's your readings. Are you kidding me? Partays were higher than that. I can't even really say that because Partays didn't show a meter. He didn't show a physical meter, and he was just doing readings on the screen. You got to show physical reading. But if his meters are correct, he's brighter than your environment. 40 lux is low, extremely low. Again, our environments downstairs are maxed out. Meters don't pick up in the basement. That's extremely low. That's not good at all. That's pretty sad. You guys be bragging over some dark, y'all think that's well lit? Nope. There we go. See this right here? You got a shade blocking this window here. That's not open. You know why? That would make contact with the screen. This is not supposed to be there. That's not supposed to be there at all. That's why it's so dark in here. No light's really making contact. If it was light, all this would be well lit over here. You'd see this with no problem. All this is casting shadows. See what I mean? Not enough light hitting that screen. Completely washed out. This is all washed out. Colors, this color. Good gracious, man. I don't know why you guys got to do work better than this. You got to do better than this. That's pathetic. Come on. That is completely washed out. Look at the green. This is supposed to pop. That green is supposed to pop. That red is supposed to pop. That chocolate is supposed to be dark. The background is supposed to be black, jet black. You're missing. Oh, this is just horrible. This is all washed out. All washed out. You see how tan that looks? That is not supposed to look like that. Oh, man, I hate to embarrass people, I swear. We need to come back here and show you how it's done. Good gracious, I can pull that outside without a problem. This is what happens. I told you, Sherwin-Williams does the exact same thing. That same washed out look. This is what you guys brag about on your walls at the end of the day. I can do this at 720p. I can do 1,000 lumens downstairs. It's really bad. This is supposed to be jet black. Jet black. This is supposed to be deep red, deep green, and this is supposed to have a nice chocolate brown to it. It's supposed to look appetizing. Not look like something's been in a dumpster for 5 days. Shoot, washed out. He's washed out completely right there. Definitely washed out. Oh, this is washed out. That's definitely washed out here and here. Black levels are not picking up. I told you, when people do demonstrations on gray screens, they would try to stick to as much bright levels as possible. And this is why you guys cancel your orders, because you can't go against our environments. You can't go against the projectors we have in here. And your screens are really bad. That is all washed out right in here. That's definitely washed out really badly. Again, washed out all in here. Good gracious. No contrast levels at all. Is there any serious contrast levels in here? Any? Nope, but a bunch of fruits and berries. I told you. Where's the OLED fish? Where's the fish in the 4K? Where's the Starfield demonstration? There's the Black Horse from Panasonic. You can do any of those demonstrations at all. Oh my goodness. I told you, stick to nice bright colors. That's it. That is not good, man. That is really bad. If you're going to be showing off fully lit environments, you said ambient. Well, he says it's not ambient light projection technology, so he basically can show up that demonstration to get away with it because it's not ambient light at all. We're done here. There's nothing more I need to see. You don't do demonstrations correctly. That's the problem. When you show a demonstration off, it's supposed to be fully lit. That's how it's supposed to look. This is outside. You're supposed to be able to display screens in fully lit environments, not sitting in the dark. See how that screen's pulling up at 144 inches inside with no problem and displayed outside? This is what you're supposed to be able to display at the end of the day. This is what it's supposed to look like. And you're supposed to show off contrast. The reason why is because any gray screen has the ability to pull off bright colors. The problem you have is they can't see contrast. Network gray, any one of those can pull off bright colors, no problem. And they can do it in fully lit environments, no problem. The only problem is they can't see contrast. They can't pick up real color at the end of the day. That's all he just displayed. I'll put the rest of mine in here too. You don't have any demonstrations like this, none of this. Even my customers can display in environments brighter than yours. See? A shame. All right, we're done here. That gives you guys an idea. I'm going to come over and flip my screens on, do my demonstrations on real technology at the end of the day with real actual gunmetal. And the reason why I can say real actual gunmetal, because that technology over there has been tested against actual gunmetal technology. The problem you have here is that he's claiming his product to be gunmetal. And where's your gunmetal test demonstrations? You have any tests showing your screens on black levels versus actual gunmetal screens at the end of the day in fully lit environments? You can't use 4K. You can't use 1080p, 720p only. Where are your demonstrations on that? You can't call your product gunmetal if you go against gunmetal. You can't even pass our gunmetal. Our gunmetal would crush your stuff with no problem. Again, because it's actual gunmetal. Yours is not. So that's another thing to worry about. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on this website, man. It's just really messed up. You know, return policies are really messed up. The issue I see right there with problems with claiming that this product can be used outside. There's no demonstrations anywhere on the website showing any other product outside at all, period. So no, fake. Yeah, no demonstrations on large display screens, none of that at all, period. These are our customer demonstrations right here at all, period. This just shows you right here at the end of the day what you're actually getting from a gray screen. Yeah, let me see, let me go over here real quick. Let's go down to this right here. These are your customer demonstrations. Every last one of them is showing color. You're not showing contrast on any of those demonstrations. See right here on this screen right here? This is supposed to be your customer right here. And you see what's wrong with this demonstration? You're displaying nothing but bright levels. All this is blocking the screen right there from the door. It's a massive awning over top of the screen. That's not going to make any contact, and there's no light in the environment. It's too dark. On top of that, you're showing bright levels, and your screen is washing up right along there in that corner. Where are the contrast levels? I guarantee each one of these I pull up, there's no contrast levels at all. Everyone's going to be bright levels, every last one. Nope, no good. Where's the contrast? What was that? Screen's off. That doesn't do anything. Nope, colorful fish. Again, sitting in the dark. Definitely in the dark because I can see right here, there's window light peeking around your window right here, showing that it's daytime and your environment literally is that dark. That's fail. In the dark again. In the dark again. Oh, my goodness. And it's light outside. You can clearly see it's light outside. In the dark again. Nothing there. This is yours. 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 That's your demonstration. That's your demonstration. That's a customer. That's it. All of these are yours. That one right there is the only one that's a customer's right there. And maybe this one right here. Let me see. Yeah. Buddy, you don't, I don't know what you're trying to show. Yeah, those are not even, those, all these are this one, because you have that brick wall. That one, that one, that one, that one. This one's a customer's. That's the only one you have. That's the customer demonstration on your site. And that's it. That's all you have. My site, customer, 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 customer. Slideshow has about 60 screenshots, all from customers in there. Yeah, and I got another 20 more to upload today, which I hadn't had time to, which I got more demonstrations on the people who did the review on the product. This one right here, this one demonstration alone, if I click on here, would outperform all your, well, you only have two customers. And one guy sitting in a dark room and just that one. This one alone would put all your stuff to shame. This is my customer. And you notice he's showing a contrast level. See the white levels on that skin? That's my customer. But you don't show anything like that. You're all in the dark. And your screens are so far away from the light. See that? Hold on. How about, let me see. Our products work outside. Oh, maybe we got to post those on there. We have this one. And we have, someone made a statement that my product doesn't work with the lights out, right? Remember that? This is why this one was posted. And you can turn his lights on too if he wants. That's our technology over there. That's front and rear technology he's using. Okay. Let's go over to his multi-setup display. There's this is a customer right there displaying again. His environment is better lit than yours. And you sell screen paint. His environment is better lit than yours. Now, how is it possible if my screen's so dark it can't pull up, but that's my customer displaying? That's interesting, Crow. I'm curious to know about that one. How is it possible? In your demonstrations, our screens don't come up, but in their demonstrations, these customers, our product shows up. Seeing flashing lights on and off? Yeah, he knows about you too. A lot of my customers don't like you at the end of the day because they know that you're nothing more than a fake. And your website's definitely a fake. Here it is on Facebook. This is him posting on Facebook of our products. They do what we do in our demonstrations. And if I'm showing deep dark contrast and star filtering, they do the exact same thing. You, on the other hand, you go back and you tell your customers what to show and what to display. That's what you do in your demonstrations. I notice that. I notice that a lot. When I go watch your demonstrations, they all look the same like your demonstrations. And the reason why, you tell them what to show and how to show it. That's what you do. That's why you don't have any demonstrations outside in fully lit environments. Let's go real quick over to, let's see, over here real quick. You got 1, two demonstrations on your site. To be fair, you have two demonstrations. One guy's sitting in complete blackness, which I literally thought was your video. I really I thought was yours, but it's not yours. It's actually a customer. I thought it was yours at the end of the day. And another one showing his off, and he's got a still shot of a screen showing off football. Football's bright anyway. Then you can pull that up. Okay, so busy. I got to post these demonstrations on top of that. I got customers demonstrations coming in. We got to post. I want reactions from what we're getting from other customers on the other form sites. We can post those too. Let me see. Here we go. Now, while you guys are sitting in the dark, this is what my customers do with our stuff. Because all your demonstrations are in the dark. There you go. That's my customer outside with our projection screen at 5:59. And you guys are huddled in the dark. You know that demonstration you did with your customer sitting in the dark showing the same video? He did it outside. See what time of day it is? See how bright it is outside? And yet, this is your customer. See if we can figure out which demonstration that was. Not there. See if we can compare my customer with yours. Not there, definitely not there. I think it might be this one. Here it is. This is your customer right here. In the dark. Same demonstration you do. You're sitting in the dark. You can't pull that screen up outside. It'll wash out. Can't see contrast level. He can't even use in the demonstration. He claims that he did a demonstration with the lights on. I haven't seen it. First things first, if you're going to show a product that can work in a fully lit environment, that's what you start off first with, the fully lit environment. Then you may switch over to the dark. That's how you do it. But you don't have to do another video to show off the screen in the well-lit environment. You could do that right there and then if it has the capability. That's why.
Well, I want to say thank you for the paint mix. Man, your recommendation is spot on. This, of course, is with the lights off. I want you to see with the lights off first. So it looks amazing. I mean, amazing. The colors pop now. My blacks are black in the dark. Now,
in the dark.
the claim is that your paint mixes work in the light, and they do. I'm going to play the same thing and do it again in a separate video. So it'll be seen with the lights on as well. This thing, oh my God, it's amazing. It's all lights.
Now he said with the lights on. Where's the demonstration at? Because if he had a demonstration showing with the lights on and it worked, I'm pretty sure this guy would have posted the demonstration right here for us to see. But there's no demonstration. None. So it didn't work with the lights on. It washed out. That's what happened. And you figured out you couldn't use it, so you basically scrapped it, because if that guy in that video was able to show you a demonstration with the lights on, that's what he should have started off with first and then turn the lights on. He could have did both in the video at the same time, but he chose to show it with the lights off because that's the only way it would be able to display. Like I said, I can take network gray and I can do the exact same thing. Even my digital one will do the exact same thing with no problem. So yeah, there's a problem with that one. Like I said, make my customers, when I tell them that they can use it in a fully lit environment, guess what they're going to do first? They're going to display it with the lights on first. And then later on, they're going to turn the lights off. There you go. That's why I know the video is a complete lie. He can only do this with the lights off. That's it. My customer can do his outside if he wants. You guys don't think when you talk. If I got technology that has the ability to be able to pull up outside, if I have technology that can be used in a fully lit environment, why would I be showing you a demonstration first with the lights out? I'd be showing the demonstrations with the lights on first, and then I would turn the lights out. He could have did that, like I said, in both videos. He could have did one part with the lights on, right light up. He didn't do that. He said a separate video. So if he did a separate video with the lights on, knowing that you could use this against me, showing that I'm wrong, why didn't you post it? You didn't, because he couldn't do that at all. That's why. Y'all guys feed so much mumbo jumbo. My customer demonstrations alone, like I said, would easily crush your customers' products. I've seen your demonstrations with your customers. I've seen them all. They're not good. They do not match your screen in any way whatsoever. See the difference? That customer is using more light, even in churches. This is my technology displayed in a church. Oh yeah, we're quite all over the place. We've had all kinds of customer testimonies on us. Yeah, all your stuff is in the dark. This is a customer used a 900 lumen ultra short throw projector for his demonstration. This is the projector he showed off in the demonstration he was using. Yeah, please. See, all fully lit environment. If I'm doing demonstrations in a fully lit environment, guess what? They are too. They're going to do the same thing. Because they're going to make sure my product works. There's another one right there. They are definitely going to test me out at the end of the day. This is on my intro video right here. This is a church that liked what we did so much that they did an intro video for us. See those lights at the top? So when you talk about high powered lighting and all that, we've done screens over 1,000-inch screens. We've done them. That's how I know how much paint it takes to paint a screen. You couldn't even get you wouldn't be to add it up to know how much paint it would take to paint that screen. If you don't know that 2 quarts, you think 2 quarts are going to paint a 300-inch screen, you would never guess how much paint it took to paint that screen. So that lighting up there. See, those are the demonstrations we have compared to what you have. But getting back to your website, yes, your website is a complete scam. It is. It's definitely a complete scam. Your information is incorrect. Not only do you have multiple counts of bad spelling, which you could have fixed months ago. Even your website has been around since last year, and you still choose to have all this mumbo jumbo. Return policies on here are completely false. You're telling people if products land on their property, they are basically can't return it. It says it right there. No refunds and no returns and no refunds. Right there on your page. You wrote this yourself. And I can't make this up if I wanted to because it's right there on your site. Right here, you have little bits of information on your product. You know why? Because you haven't done any testing on your product, any real testing. If you've done real testing on your product, your specification sheet would be massive. You haven't done any form of testing on your products at all. The lowest amount of lumens we can use on our screen is 1,000 lumens. You're saying 22. You couldn't pull 1,000 lumens off in that projector. Not in the environment we were sitting in. You couldn't even be in a max out zone with a 1,000 lumen projector. Your screen would fail to pick up. So let me show you people. This is just the basic information for what surface you can paint it on. There is so much he's missing from his product sheet. It's not even funny. So right here at the bottom, this is the information right there for basically paint on application info. You see how much information is embedded in there? There's a whole lot of stuff he doesn't have on his website. Paint sprayers, choice of paint sprayers. We go with the Wagner 250s. We tested those already. We do demonstrations all the time. Telling people spraying well-ventilated areas, wear safety masks and glasses. All of this information needs to be put out there. The drying time on the screen, the shelf life, all that stuff. VOC, eco-friendly. How do you wash it off? Cleaning instructions. Are you using mild soaps, harsh soaps? Are you using anywhere from hot water to cold water? What happens if it lands on your clothes? All kinds of stuff you need to have in there. This is his specification sheet. That is it. That is all you're going to get. The reason why he doesn't have that information in there because he has no knowledge on his product whatsoever. Is it low VOC? Is it eco-friendly? Is it water-based? All that has to be in there. Even though you know it's water-based, it has to say it's water-based. Because a company will call you up and go, hey, this stuff we're shooting through a cannon right now. Is this water-based? Because anything that goes through a cannon becomes airborne. And you have nothing there explaining to anything else. This is basically it, all you have. Yeah, it's never good at all. One of the pages, and keep in mind, not everything is in sync. So right here, he has, this will be 2 quarts of paint, right? Same container, but then when you scroll down here, same container, and he has 1 quart of paint. And you spelled quart incorrect. Then up here, this is the more baffling page right here. He claims here, and this one, we've done this before already, but people need to see this because like I said, this is not being done, gentlemen, out of disrespect or basically to you think at the end of the day, this is coming at, no, you should have this information correct. Again, I don't like the sites who sell fake projectors. I can't stand them at the end of the day because customers go in there thinking they're going to get this 8K or 15,000 lumen high powered projector and get home and get a piece of trash at the end of the day because they lied on their site. They lied on their eBay account. They lied. You guys are doing the same thing. You lie. But it's right here out in the open. I'm not making this up. This is your website, not mine. It clearly says on your website, you stated that 2 quarts of paint will cover up to 300 inches or a total of 3 100-inch screens. Lie. Right here, you say here, let's see, please be aware to use a paint sprayer for this to work. So you just told your customers you can't paint that screen unless you have a paint sprayer. But it clearly shows you here in the video, painting a screen with a roller. And a paintbrush at that. Now I'll show you where he made a mistake when he painted this screen. Big mistake. When you paint a screen such like this, you're supposed to make sure that when you put the tape in, that it tucks under the frame. Because what happens is you're going to have paint splashing all around in these corners. If you have a little bit of tape lifted up just a little bit of an edge, you're going to have a trace of that white paint inside of your border. Another thing too, the entire border should be covered in paint because you could be rolling and you could bump it and roll over top of it and hit your border and damage it. That can definitely happen. Even though you may be good at painting the screen at the end of the day, your customer may not be. This could be his first time painting the screen. And yes, you can easily make the mistake of hitting the side and bumping over that tape and hitting your border and damaging it. Number 2, you should have some kind of plastic on your floor because again, if you bump over that railing, you will make contact with your floor. So that should have something there to protect your floor. He did not do this correctly. Did he flip the screen up and show you the bar? Now there's a bar in the back of the screen. I say pad the bar. Don't remove it. They're a headache to get back in. They are a nightmare. Once you put that screen in and you expand that material around it, that screen is going to push in with those springs around that system, and it's going to cause that system to tighten up. So putting the bar back in is going to be your own personal nightmare. That's something you want to do. You paint the screen with the bar in. Take a towel, fold it up, you put it in between the bar, and when you roll over top of it, you're going to have a little lump there. Don't worry, it's going to stretch out. I've done dozens of these screens. dozens of them, including 235.1s. I've done them. So that's how I know. And it's an easy way to do it. But this is right here. Another thing he didn't explain to you too is sometimes when you paint a screen, they may have a special formula on the screen to allow you to be able to watch the screen. When you paint the screen the first time, you put a light coating, you will see the white part of the screen start to push through. Do not force it. Don't think if you drop more paint on top of it, it's going to fix it. It's not. You put a light coating, let it dry, hit it again, and you're done. That's how you do it. But he didn't teach you all that. He didn't tell you that to begin with. But that's one of the things you want to do. Make sure this part, this black part, is all covered in tape. Because even though he may have a skill level to be able to paint the screen without bumping over the side, you may not have it. And you may bump over the side and hit this and damage that and hit your floor at the same time. So very poor job. Now, as I told you before, he said in this demonstration can be used with a paint sprayer only. And clearly in the demonstration, he's not using a paint sprayer. He's actually painting the screen in, and then after that, he's rolling it in. So, no. And if you look at the color, really quick, let me see if we got it up here. There you go. There's this color right there. That would match this product perfectly right there. Any one of these in this range would match with no problem. You don't even have to have the exact same color. It'd still match. Trust me. If you want to know where the color strip is at, there's the color strip right there. Check it out for yourself. It's up to you. It's not my money. It's yours at the end of the day. Keep in mind. Think about that. It's not my money. It's just to warn you at the end of the day that this is test he needs to do against this product to prove to you that you are basically getting what you paid for at the end of the day. That's why we have all those demonstrations on our product versus black paint, black fabric, and all that crazy stuff. At the end of the day, dropping it at 1,000 lumens, doing them in max out zones to show you that, hey, paint your wall with a black paint, see what happens to your wall. Your color levels are going to come up dirty. Your white levels are going to come up dirty. We can back that up. The answer is, can they? All right, so let's move on. So you just saw him roll the screen in, but clearly it says here in his description, it says, please be aware to use a paint sprayer for this to work. So no, clearly you don't have to use a paint sprayer. Keep in mind, you're going to go out and spend extra money for a paint sprayer. Even if you got the Wagner 250, that's $60 right there. You're going to have to spend. So you're going to spend $400 money for the paint, pay $60 for a paint sprayer. All the while you can just roll it in. He just did it just here on the video. Doesn't make any sense at all. At the bottom, I have no idea what this means. At the end of the day, I don't have enough brain cells to figure that one out. That is insane. I just put something there crazy. He put down, make sure to use a sprayer to get 3 100-inch screens. You explain to me, what the freak does that mean at the end of the day? You don't need a paint sprayer to get 3 100. You can do it with a roller. You can roll 3 100-inch screens with no problem. How would a paint sprayer work with that at all? Paint sprayer is the only thing that's going to give you 3 100 screen. You can use a roller and get that. You can do a paintbrush and do the same thing. It's going to jack your screen up, but still. But no. And the thing about paint sprayers, and what a lot of people don't realize, if you've never used one before, they can kill paint like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, they will suck paint out like no tomorrow. And if you don't know how to spray the screen correctly, most of your paint can end up in the air instead of hitting the screen. Or too much can hit the screen, and you could have poodles of paint coming down in large drips down your screen that would definitely damage your screen. You would have to roll over top that and then respray it again. But this doesn't make any sure. Make sure to use a sprayer to get 3 100-inch screens. What does that apply to? I think he's trying to fix the mess. Oh, this is going to be a Dr. Seuss novel when this gets done. I think he's trying to fix the mess he started here. He put in that 2 quarts of his product paints up to a 300-inch screen. That used to be there. Then he came back in and he added in a total of three 100-inch screens. But it doesn't make any sense if you're telling me you use a paint sprayer to paint 3 100-inch screens. So let me get into the mind of Crow. Oh my goodness, I swear I don't need to start my day this way. But I do this because you guys need to know what the heck you're getting yourself into. If you're basically buying product for the first time, it should not be this way. So I guess he's trying to say in this mumbo jumbo of I got a better chance of cracking the Da Vinci Code, like I said, than doing this crap. But anyway, as he said before, not saying crap towards your guy. This is a pain in the neck to read through. I get headaches after reading this crap. It is crazy. My brain's trying to function. It's kind of like the equivalence if you ever did VR before. VR does 120 frames per second. Your eyes actually move 20 times, millions of times faster than that. So your eyesight, your frames per second of what your eyes are picking up have to slow down to accept what you're picking up. And then when you pull off the headsets, everything speeds up again. That's why you get dizzy and you feel like when a black go up. That's where that comes from. It's like getting car sick, except you got VRs on. But anyway, so I guess he's trying to say that you can do this. You can paint the 3 100-inch screens to equal a, good gracious, I hope he's not saying this because this is going to be nuts. I'm just going to go on a limb here. I'm just going on a limb here. Maybe he's saying that if you paint the 300-inch screens with a paint sprayer, you can get an equivalence of a 300-inch screen. This is the best I can come up with. All right, Lottie, that's the best. I'm taking stabs in the dark here on this one. I'm pretty sure that's what he's trying to say here because he has it all in caps. So he mentions 300-inch screens here, but he's saying that if you use a paint sprayer, you can get that out of this paint. Crow, Jamie, Fernando Gonzalez, whatever you want to call yourself at the end of the day, the calculations don't add up. Do you understand this? I don't care. At the end of the day, if you're able to paint 300-inch screens, it's not going to equal a physical, actual 300-inch screens. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. My goodness, man. Listen to me, buddy boy. This is what you need to do. Do you know how to measure, right? All right. You do a 100-inch screen, 4 by 7 feet, right? Even if you do paint 300-inch screens, it's not going to total up to the size of an actual physical 300-inch screen. They are different on so many ways, it's not even funny. Your screen is going to be 13 feet and 3 inches high, right? All right, now if your screen is 4 feet by 7 feet, which is equivalent of a 100-inch screen, even if you were to stack them on top of each other, you would have the 12 feet, but still you'd be missing the 3 inches, maybe 1 inch from the actual physical screen and 2 inches from the actual border, but still you would have somewhere near the height. But you are now missing the length of the screen because your screen's only 7 feet wide. You get what I'm getting with that? So if you take, do we need sock puppets? I'm going to order me some sock puppets. If you take 3 of the screens and you stack them, 1, 2, 3, right? They're not going to equal even the length of that screen. You're not even going to equal the length. But that's not the part you have to worry about. Now you're missing the height. You ever played Tetris before? Imagine playing Tetris with only 3 pieces and you're trying to fill out an entire puzzle. That's pretty much what you're doing. So you have the length somewhat, 3 times 7, 21, but you're now missing the height because your screen's only 4 feet high. So the rest of that screen needs to be painted. Those 3 in there are not going to fit this way or this way, even if you put them this way or that way. Again, it's the equivalence of trying to fill out an entire board on Tetris with 3 pieces. That's literally what he's doing. So you put at the bottom, make sure you use a sprayer to get 3 100-inch screens. It doesn't make a difference. I don't care if you got a freaking space age, special kind of high-powered, nuclear-powered paint sprayer. I don't care. I don't care if you got a magic wand at the end of the day. I don't care. If you got a Thanos glove, you can snap, whatever. You're not going to get the 3 100-inch screens to equal a physical 300-inch screen. It doesn't work that way. If that's the case, then I have a 300-inch screen downstairs because I own 250-inch screens. And if I put them together, that makes a 300-inch screen. It does not. If I stack them on top of each other, it does not. If I put them side by side, it does not. It's not going to work. So you come in and add more Wile E. Coyote math to this. First, you came in and you said 2 quarts paints up to this. Not going to happen. Then you say that's the equivalent of 3 300-inch screens. Not going to happen. And then you come back in with this craziness and say, make sure you use a paint sprayer. So if you use a paint sprayer and you paint 3 100-inch screens, that's still not going to equivalent an actual physical 300-inch screen. You know how much money I would save at the end of the day? How much money a 300-inch screen costs? How much money I would save? Oh, my goodness. I swear, I can imagine your teachers at the end of the day coming outside of the classroom and breaking open a flask of Jack Daniels and just drinking until they pass out. Like, I can't do this. I can't go back in there. I just can't. I've explained it to him like 16, 17 times. You keep saying the same thing over and over again. Why does he keep saying the same thing over again? It's not going to fit. Pretty sure when you were a kid, you didn't get one of those tables that come with the shapes and you hit whatever goes through. That's what it goes through, triangle and circle and all those octagons. And I'm pretty sure you're one of those kids that would just kept slamming the hammer on a triangle trying to get it to go through a circle. Because man, that is not going to work. I'm sorry, dude. It's never going to work. That's noob math. Noobs do that when they first start off. You painted on enough screens to know this. Return policy. I'm done. I can't do this. Buddy boy, I wish you the best of luck in life. You need to have somebody go through a spelling checker on your page. You've had delivery spelled wrong since last year. Last year, we can go back to my files and last year, bring a video up. It's the same thing. Same thing. Customers that are going through this, don't. Just avoid the page at all costs because, again, there's so much crap going on this page. He has one section of the page that has no return policy and nothing. It's just summary, nothing. Another section of the page basically is showing, we got to show this part right here. Again, like seriously, dude, like if I want to snap out, my friend has amazing grammar. His grammar is immaculate, right? If I want to trigger him, I just send him your webpage. It'll trigger him. He basically would contact you and say, look, man, let me fix your page, man. It needs to be fixed. Because you had plenty of time to do this. You have 2 quarts. 2 quarts right here. This is what you're selling, 2 quarts, right? Why do you have a gallon here? What is this? Why do you have a gallon here? Each one of your shopping carts is its own mystery of nightmares. You think I'm joking on this? Well, you're not. Right here. You see where it says right here? You guys got a good memory. Remember what I just put here. You ever take that test, that intelligence test? They just flash a bunch. Say, okay, remember everything in the test, and then basically take it away. Okay, tell me what was missing. Yeah, pretty much one of these. See right here? All that information here. Perfect. I ain't got nothing as a surcharge. It's his own business in the day. It's none of my business. I'm not getting on that. Whatever he wants to charge for surcharge is his business at the day. If I charge free, it's my business. I don't really care about that. I'm not even cracking on the price. All right, so you see right there, right? Now, let's go pop out of here. Let's see how much your memory kicks. Let's go over here. You see anything missing? The surcharge is missing. The return policy is missing. That's all gone. And he just has a summary. That's it. So what are you buying when you come in here? You're getting a summary. You're getting a story. This projection screen mix is my lightest mix of the batch. I love you guys using batches now that we use batch. The batch, it makes it ideal for dark environments with lower lumen projectors, perfect for 1080p and 4K and 3D. 1 quart covers up to 135-inch screen. Do you know if it paints a 135-inch screen? I don't think it does. You haven't done the test yet. So you're saying 1 quart, right? Does 1 quart cover here? 1 quart covers up to a 120-inch screen. What happened to the 135-inch? Not there anymore. But it says it covers up to 120-inch. But if you go to the page to buy, it says 135. This one says 2 quarts covers up to 115-inch screen. Maybe, but you haven't painted it in yet, so who even knows? And over here says that 2 quarts paint up to a 200 screen. That is not going to happen. But on your other page, you say up to 300 inches. So which one is it? Okay, that's basically about it for me. I'm done. I've seen enough already. Yeah, very little information. All the information jumps back from one section to the next. A lot of information it has here is falsified, not real. It doesn't support AR, ambient light projection technology. Video is too dark and here it's completely washed out. You only have one customer demonstration up here. All the rest of these are yours, which is not good at the end of the day because if your product worked the way you said it did, they should be posted right here and they're not posted. And that's the end of your page right there. We're done. Right there. Let's go over here to Mr. Bird. Boop, 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 boop. Go over here to my home page, which is supposed to have the home page. This is all the information. Copyrights pop up. Still got to put more videos in there too. There we go. powered by God's technology or technology, which you are getting sued for because you're not supposed to touch this. It's a copyrighted logo, so you know that from the door. But my lawyers will explain it to you. All right, so let's move on from there. There's a summary right there, contact information. Still putting in more videos if I had time to put in the rest of my videos because I've been quite busy. More demonstrations there. Video testimonies from customers. Picture slideshows. Why you don't want to go with gray screen projection screens. It is a complete waste of your time. Boom, 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 boom. This is what you guys miss. This is what happens to a gray screen. This is his product. And a max out zone. That's what happens to your screen. You can't pick it up. That's how much light you're supposed to have in your environment. You're not supposed to be sitting in the dark. These are the ones that are posted all over our Facebook page. And these are the pictures we posted in the forum sites with the elitists and other big guys over there who fell in love with the technology because they got this image pulls up on their screen on a $25,000 JVC. But on our technology, we're showing off here on a 720p projector. We can produce that. That's why they're buying our products. These are our demonstrations. Yeah. All right. There's tons of demonstrations. We can't go through all. There's tons of them on that one. Outdoor demonstrations. Poof, my goodness, where do we even start on that one? We go on and on for days on that one. Outside. Right now, we're in a forum site for people that are doing it for the summertime. Yeah, they're already set up to buy the pre-coated screens. They're already lined up to buy. This is what you have to show off, gentlemen. At the end of the day, if your product works, you can basically display it works. If I say my product is used for outside, mind this was all done on a 720p projector that cost me $270. And we're at 4:53 in the evening. And you want to talk about quality. I don't need a $3,300 projector to make my screen paint look good. I can do this outside in an environment that has 10 times more light than your environment. You wouldn't survive out here, and I don't need an expensive projector to do it. This is what they were fascinated about, that I can come out here and do these demonstrations so crystal clear. The images, this beautiful color pops from the screen. When I told you it's supposed to look realistic, it's supposed to pop, not look washed out and faded. Lights out, dual screen projection setup. Oh, I missed the dual screens, but now we got the 180. Outside on the deck. So when you tell me your product works outside, I want to see the pictures. Because this is what you should be showing off. When my customers come in and they hear me say on video, our products work outside, guess what? They're expecting to see outdoor demonstrations, inflatable projection screen that we coated in visible black technology. You have to be the back of your workup, gentlemen. And each one of these pictures is a video demonstration on every single one of them. So when summertime gets here, I plan to be outside, having fun, laughing and joking, eating. I got some people coming down soon to go chill with me. Family members are going to be popping over, and I get to be outside and have some fun with them. That's why we're building the giant Pac-Man table. Because they saw the one in the house and said, "Are you building anything like that outside?" I said, "Oh, heck yes, we are." Yeah, the projectors are going to be mounted onto the deck and they're going to push down. That screen is going to be maybe a 200-inch screen displayed. It's going to be widescreen. It's going to be huge. It's designed to basically fold and collapse. I can take it apart. So those screens are going to be designed with nuts and bolts and go in there and just remove them, take them apart, disassemble them, put them in the corner. That's what they're going to be designed for. Make it easier for taking my screens apart. So I have cup holders and everything. I have speakers, lights flashing all around it. So, you know, my buddies can go in there and sit down. We can have a Pac-Man game or whatever we want to play back and forth. Oh, this is interesting. This is the 8. Now, this is a product that Crows slammed and said, oh, it couldn't pull up in a welded environment. Do you know I painted that screen outside? Yeah, there's a video to back it up. That screen, and guess what this is? Crow, this is your product here, right there. And this is a white screen right there. And this is an 8. And you can't do stuff like that in the day because your product doesn't work. Outside motorized projection screens, been there, done that. Now you are doing a motorized projection screen comparison in the dark. And we can go outside and play if we want to. Oh, screens mounted to the ground. Here's one we have right here where the projector was sitting up in the air. That's a 2500 lumen laser projector by Casio. My screen sits on the ground. I can actually project right there in the middle of the day with no problem. That's old technology. We don't make that anymore. We got stuff that's far better than that. You don't have any pictures like this. Show me one picture that you have like this. One. You don't. Your product wouldn't pick up. All right, let's come out of here. We got this ton, there's like 60 and there's a ton of them in there. That's why I said when companies come through and if I tell them my product is ambient light rejection technology, they see those pictures, that's an automatic sale. We don't sit in the dark like you do. Your return policy, your shipping policy, this is how big your shipping policy is supposed to be. You see all that information that just popped up? This is my shipping policy. You're supposed to have this in here. All that information is supposed to be in your page. 2 paragraphs, no. This is all the information you're supposed to have in there. There's stuff in the acts of God and holidays and stuff like that. All that has to be in there. That's why I know you did a lazy man website. Your website is a lazy man. Defective products, all kinds of everything has to be in there. You don't have none of that stuff in there in your page. Nothing. There's even overseas policies you have to have in there. You don't have in your site. That's all shipping by itself compared to let's go ahead. We need one of these. This is your shipping policy. That's it. Lazy. I'm sorry, money. Money. You're lazy. You are lazy. Even Partey has more than that, and I don't even care for Partey at the end of the day. I really don't. But I do give credit where credit is due. I am a fair man. I'm not a big fan of screen innovations either, but I do give credit where credit is due. But at least he did take the time to go in, even though the stuff on his website is complete nonsense, but he did take the time in to put in a proper return policy into his site that looks like a professional site. What the freak is this? Sorry to go in on this guy, but come on, are you kidding me? Who is buying paint from this site with that return policy attached to it? You want to talk about scammers at the end of the day. You do know a scam site has very little information in it. The whole object of the site is to collect money. They don't even go in and fix the site or update it or anything whatsoever. At the end of the day, they put a little bit here and there, and that's basically about it, only to collect money. That is your return policy right there. Compared to this return policy. So all that information's in there. You have to have all that in there. Let's go to basically, do you have a payment policy? So in my policy right here, this basically shows payments that we basically support. So we have this side, we support right here. And what we don't support, which will be Western Union, money orders, which is personal payroll or paychecks of any kind, and MoneyGram. We do not accept. You don't have that information in there. Payments you accept, you don't have that anywhere in there. You just have the PayPal thing. That's basically about it. We need to update this too, because now we do invoice payments too. So that needs to be updated. I'll do that today. I forgot we do invoice payments. But they have to go through PayPal, just to let you know. We're the only ones who ship those out. All right, let's see right here. Shipping and returns. We just did that already, right? Do we ship and returns? Yeah, contact us. Our story. This is right here. Simple and plain. My story. But to my special thanks. Boom. I hate that speaker. That speaker shuts off for the sake of just shut it off. Yep, you gotta have all that information in there, man. You can't be lazy. Your website was done extremely, extremely lazy. Hear that music playing in the background? That's coming from that site. So we play a little classical music. Somebody wants to come in, Reader, special thanks. The classic music attachment, which is my favorite piece right there. You gotta do it professionally, man. You did your site very lazy. And of course, we all know what more is. More is the fake projector setup. The blacklist. Anybody who basically is on the blacklist. Now, mind you, we don't just post people on the blacklist for sake of just posting them on there. No, we have to have video evidence of you doing the dumb stuff before you end up on there. Like if I buy a projector and I buy it from this merchant and this projector clearly says that it works and blah, 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 and I get it down here and it doesn't work, it doesn't function, it has problems and all this crap that goes wrong with it, because clearly when I plugged it in, nothing worked. I worked with projectors for a while, so I know whether or not is this person was trying to involve a scam. Your eBay listing is going to end up on one of these things right here and nobody will buy from you at the end of the day. Now, if it's good, and I have had people's projectors sold out, like the guy was selling certain projectors, it was the Christie 1080p's. We posted that to 4 or 5 sites. Boom, they sold out in no time at all. Yeah, we sold his projectors out quick. I wish I'd have bought 2 of them, to tell you the truth, at the end of the day. But yeah, if you're on eBay and you're doing some crap you're supposed to be doing, and I bump into your site and I buy your stuff and it doesn't work, not only will I have the unboxing of your projector not functioning and working, but that will end up on the site. So customers helps them out, because when they go to the blacklist, they know not to deal with these particular merchants that they're dealing with, because that way you have to worry about getting scammed. LED lights, yeah, we got a couple companies we don't buy LED lights from anymore. Yep, they got some new tricks they're doing with LED lights, man, that will basically burn you up at the end of the day. So we got to get into that. There's a whole lot of stuff you guys don't know about and how easy you get burned. Buying projector lamps, oh, there's a good way to get burned off projector lamps. Easily get burned off a projector lamp. Housing, how the housing's molded. Yeah, I've done a couple of demonstrations. So there's a whole lot of stuff that we can show you at the end of the day, but that's a whole segment right there for the blacklist. You see how much work I got to do at the end of the day, but no, buddy, your place is not doing what it's supposed to do at the end of the day. It's not at all, period. You're not doing it. Your product page is too light. Good gracious, you're going way too far into this one. All we got to is just so much stuff you got to know about. At the end of this, stuff you're supposed to know. You know, when you go to a site, you should be seeing right here. That is the name right there, the product right there. That's the price right there we have right there. There is the policy. You see our policy? This is my policy right there. Boom, 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 boom. That policy right there protects you and me at the end of the day. Projectors that we support right here. Right here, specification sheet. All this information here. Boom, 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 boom. All this information you are supposed to know. What surface can you paint it on? What can you wash off with hot water and soap? Do you use all that information's there? And you can't put down, he's just putting down ultra short though, ultra short though, ultra short though, ultra short though, because that's all he uses. Can you use it with 1,000 projectors? Yeah, we did it in the max out zone. Inside. Use it outside, 4,000 lumens with a projector outside. All those demonstrations were done with a 4,000 lumen projector. Oh, man. You gotta be careful, people. Gotta be careful. He just sat there and said in one of his demonstrations right here, he said you can only use it with a paint sprayer. So you go out and buy yourself a paint sprayer just to find out. You see a video later on of him rolling the screen in. You're like, this spent $60 for this thing. I can't take this back. This was used. Yeah, you're stuck with it. It just cost you $60. You don't believe me? Right there, he says right there. Please be aware to use a paint sprayer for this to work. So that means you must have a paint sprayer to get it to work, right? Only screens that require paint sprayers at the end of the day are screens that are front and rear, because the formula that they use has to go on nice and thin, because if you have any imperfections, that's going to push through the opposite side of your screen and vice versa. That's why you're required to use a sprayer with them. Unless you're using a really, really, really fine coating, then you can basically spray it on. Partay, you didn't add that in there, did you? You do know that bottom line, if you're using a really fine coating, like you say yours is using a very thin coating, a gnat roller would be the worst thing you want to roll over with, because you would leave imperfections all in the surface. That would be a problem. You didn't even use a smooth roller. They make a special roller called a smooth roller for smooth applications. The roller you used wasn't a smooth roller. If that's the case, you can use a foam roller if your application is that thin. But most importantly, you should be running it through a paint sprayer, and preferably a Wagner 250. That's what you should be using it, because you will streak the crap out of your screen with that thin. Glue screens materials were so thin, yes, you had to use a paint sprayer to run through them. Paint sprayer, yeah, that's what you should be using. If your application you claim is that thin like a skin, you should be using either a foam roller or you should be using a smooth roller using a paint sprayer, which you didn't do in your videos at all. That's another thing too. I know your prep was bull. But over here, he's talking about you can only use a paint sprayer only. So if that's the case, then you explain why you're in here in this video using a roller. Title of your video, Cinemax. Same screen print you're selling in the demonstration that is using the same thing as the Cinemax. But you got a roller in this one, but in your description here says that you can only use it with a paint sprayer. So the customer buys this, I don't know why, he spends $60 for a sprayer. Maybe he doesn't get the WAG $250. Maybe he gets another paint sprayer, may cost him $200, $300. Maybe 180, maybe 190, maybe 150. Either way, he spent extra money for something that he really didn't have to spend the money for, because he could have just went out and just got himself a pack of rollers, which have been about $13, maybe $700, depending on where you go. And with the stick included, you bought the stick, so it was $7, maybe $2, $3, depending on where you go, and he could have rolled it in. Just like you did in the video. You don't know your own product at the end of the day. I don't even know why you would put a paint spray in there. You actually, tell me to trick people. If you're using a paint sprayer, it's just quicker and faster. That's basically about it. But you're going to use more paint in a sprayer than you're actually going to use on a roller. A roller, you're going to use less paint. Only time people spray screens, unless you're doing a really big application. I can roll on a 250 with no problem. If you have the room for it, you can roll the whole screen in. Tricky, you can. If I had the room, I can roll in a 300-inch with no problem. It's not hard for me to do. But I would prefer to spray it in. That's a pretty big screen to paint. It's much faster. It's a quicker application. That's basically about it for bigger jobs. You know, but other than that, yeah. All right, people, I got to fire up. I'm going to do about a couple of demonstrations today. Hopefully if the weather's nice, I'm going to crack my window for a minute. We should have our windows open. And Taco's downstairs like, human, where is my food? He has food downstairs. He wants his snacks, that's all. Oh, it's cold outside. I'm seeing my neighbor walk up the street walking her dog. And she's got a jacket on and a hat. But who knows, the weather might get warm. At least we got the nice weather and all that good stuff. As for the borderland, I haven't even put a dent in it yet. I'm really still working on that. I got the bow and arrow though, but I ain't freaking gonna work on it. Okay, people, we're out of here. We're done with this. Just be careful when you're buying screen print out there. Make sure you know what you're getting at the end of the day. Read through the sites very carefully. Fact check us. Check out our videos. If you want, compare my stuff to anybody else's. I don't care any day. We can back our products up 100% with no problem whatsoever. And Crow, that's not gunmetal at the end of the day. Take that off. That is not gunmetal. That is actually gray. That's never gunmetal. You reason why not? We had the same platform. I know that color. It's on my platform. That is nowhere near gunmetal. That's gunmetal. All right. Well, I got to fire up. I got to get ready. I got to jump on Facebook for a few things. And basically, I'm going to be doing some demonstrations in here and showing you how it's done. Got to go, and God bless. Yeah.